Hello everyone, I just want to start this off by saying thank you for clicking on my video. It's the first one to be put on my channel, and I really appreciate you giving it a chance. In similar fashion to how one might release a couple of songs on an album before putting out the whole thing, this video is a portion of a much larger Naruto video I'm working on. I might release one or two more after this before I post the whole thing as it's still in production, but in the meantime, please enjoy this video. Alright, let's talk about the significance of Kamui. One of the most powerful abilities in the Naruto series is the Mangekyo Sharingan power shared both by Kakashi and Obito. This element of the story has been faced with scrutiny due to the fact that both Obito and Kakashi seem to lack having to deal with the negative consequences of using these abilities, as neither suffer from the blindness associated with its overuse. I was initially able to pardon this fact because of the symbolic role it plays in both characters, but after doing some research and putting in some thought, I have a couple counters to the arguments before we get into the power's allegorical complexities. Due to having half his body crushed, Obito is left in critical condition following the fight he experienced in the Third Great Shinobi World War. Because of this, the damaged half is replaced with a artificial substitute from the cells of Hashirama Senju. This is the best reasoning I can provide for the lack of Obito's blindness, as Hashirama is an incredibly powerful healer and can recover from major wounds in seconds. As further proof of the strength of this healing, look towards Madara after being hit with the Night Guy. His body is healing extremely quickly. Within a matter of seconds, he is pretty much fully recovered. While some of this may be due to the fact that Madara became the Ten-Tailed Jinchuriki, regardless, Hashirama's DNA plays a significant role in his recovery. Taking this evidence, we can assume that the damage usually inflicted by someone using the Mangekyo's abilities is offset by the healing capabilities of Hashirama's cells. Kakashi is a bit of a different case, as he does not possess the same healing power. Some theorize that due to the two Sharingan being connected, Obito's healing is projected onto his other eye. Others suspect that because of the fact that it's a transplanted rather than naturally occurring eye, the negative effects won't be experienced by Kakashi, although this is entirely headcanon. However, the issue of this plot hole is offset by what Kamui represents. Think of the ability itself. It allows the user to access a pocket dimension separate from their original plane of reality. It's an escape from their own world. Notice how when it's first awakened, Obito takes to this ability with incredible ease, already showing extreme prowess in using it to avoid being hit by his opponents. Contrast this with Kakashi, who takes a significantly larger amount of time to learn to utilize it. The tragedy of Rin's death, along with Kakashi's lack of knowing that Obito is still alive, leading him to believe that his entire team has been killed, activates his Mangekyo Sharingan. Obito, seeing his best friend kill the person he loves, is also stricken with grief, feeling his reality crumbling around him. It is at this moment that the Kamui is shown to be representative of the idea of fleeing reality, an ideology of which Obito voices during the war arc. This also applies to the specifics of each person's ability. Obito literally removes himself from reality, both by putting parts of himself in the dimension and avoiding damage, and is also the only person to possess the ability to travel to the Kamui dimension by himself. Kakashi's, on the other hand, exhibits different qualities. For Kakashi, it is not a complete rejection of reality, but a matter of regret in his life. While he ultimately believes that existing in the real world is the superior choice to a dream reality, there is still doubt in his mind because of the lack of closure that he has. Everyone has been taken from him, and he has never gotten the opportunity to really console those doubts with who he lost. Once again, however, Kakashi is much more grounded in his ideals, that reality is the world he needs to live in, and it shows in his respective Kamui ability. He can only transport other people, not himself, and this more limited form of the jutsu displays that while Kakashi may have his doubts about his happiness in the real world, ultimately he does not succumb to taking himself out of it. Because of this, I believe that the battle between Obito and Kakashi taking place in the Kamui dimension is the best location Kishimoto could have chosen. With Kamui being the representation of the projection of reality, it was perfect that Kakashi challenged Obito's ideals of escapism within it. While inside the dimension, Kakashi reaffirms his philosophy after Obito places a genjutsu on him that causes Kakashi to hallucinate past versions of Obito and Rin. While Obito attempts to use this to sway Kakashi to his side through displaying that Kakashi can have whatever he wants in a dream world, he quickly sashes away at the illusions. He flat out tells Obito that Rin is gone, and that Obito needs to accept the reality of his situation. Their fight, an excellently choreographed one, is one of the best that the series has to offer. This isn't just an exchange of fists, it's a clash of their ideology, and is beautifully executed through the visual aspects of alluding the current events of the characters to those of the past. As the child version of Obito reaches out his hand to form the unison side, the present Obito takes his shoulder and pushes him away, striking Kakashi. Their mutual stabbing, with both receiving the same amount of damage, is representative of how their ideologies still stand. Despite both Kakashi and Obito's attempts to change the other, both remain unmoved from how they feel. The next significant aspect is a narrative decision that many people criticize, that being Obito transferring his Mangekyo Sharingan to Kakashi, but Kakashi ultimately losing all Sharingan abilities in the end. Many say that this is a plot hole due to the way that it occurred, saying that there shouldn't be a way for Obito to do this because he died. However, due to becoming the Ten-Tailed Jinchuriki, Obito gained access to Six Pass power which altered his soul. Utilizing his remaining 6 pass power, Obito gave his abilities to Kakashi. Many were disappointed in Kakashi for ever losing his Sharingan, as they felt that it was an important part of his character. I would argue, however, that this is one of the best parts of Kakashi's character arc. Kakashi losing the Sharingan is representative of the closure he's gained from finally facing his biggest regrets. He's reaffirmed his faith in his old friend, who in the end surrendered to the ideologies of his past, returning to the optimistic philosophy he once held. In addition, he is able to overcome his regret of not being able to save Rin, and that he feels forgiven for his broken promise to Obito. No longer does Kakashi have any doubts about his reality, and he fully accepts that he must endure the consequences that come with living in the real world.